Good morning. It's 10:20 on day 3. I am in Amboy, California. The GoPro is kind of out of battery, and I haven't had real access to an outlet, so I'm trying to save my external battery for charging my phone and my GPS. Just to kind of summarize what the trip has been so far. Day 1 and 2, I had Jonmarc with me. He joined me from the first day. It was Yucca Valley to 29 Palms, which was a pretty easy day. My kickstand turned out to be just crap. I had completely bent. It was useless. It's gonna be a kickstand-less for a while, basically. That is just not working. I should just take that off. I don't even...
The first 3 of these videos are gonna have you talking about your shitty kickstand.
I know. We stopped and got like a real meal because I figured why not if, I don't know when the next time I'm gonna get real food is anyways. And we found a place to camp under a bridge. If you look on the GPS coordinates where I was staying, it looked like we were sleeping on top of a creek, but it was a dry bed. It's summer-ish. It's getting to be summer. We weren't too worried about rain coming in and flooding us out, so it was fine. It did hail as we arrived. That was a little bit crazy. And out of the blue, made me a little nervous, but things were fine.
So these are our accommodations for the night. Bridge trolls.
I had the rain fly on my tent because I was afraid it was going to be raining and I didn't want to wake up to mist on my face. But what ended up happening was sand kept getting into my tent, which was less than optimal. So night 1 was barely any sleep, kind of some dozing. We woke up at about 4:30, 4:45, got up, made some breakfast, kind of just headed out for day 2, which was to Amboy, California. So I ran into all sorts of issues on day 2. Well, the night before, my tent, one of the poles really was snapping, and I should have gotten it fixed before I left, but all the places I went didn't have the right piece for it. So I ended up having to remove a section of the pole. It was really useful that Jonmarc was there because then he could help keep the line taut enough to give me the slack that I needed to pull that piece off, reconnect everything, tie the knot again, fix the tent, and now the tent does just fine. And then once we got going, maybe about 10 miles out, maybe 18 miles out, I started hearing this zzz sound on the bike. And I was looking and I stopped and I didn't see what was wrong, and then Jonmarc came up behind me and he was like, "Ann, your pannier is broken. It's touching the tire." So I was like, "Oh, that's not good." And the screw connecting to the frame near at the hub of the tire, that had popped out, and so the pannier was just kind of like leaning over. So I had some paracord and a knife to cut the paracord with, and we were able to kind of lash that together and create a makeshift fix. Yeah, that was really kind of freaked me out because I was like, how do I even keep going if this is what's happening? But I was fairly well prepared, so that's good. We did pretty well. We ended up going over this giant mountain, which probably isn't all that giant, but on a bike it felt really big. I think it was an incline of about 1,000 feet over the course of 4 to 5 miles, and it took us about an hour or so to go 3 of those miles, so I think it was like an hour and a half to go the whole way from the very bottom.
Lunchtime in the Mojave. We're hungry. Ramen, pasta primavera, and sand. I'm sure we'll eat some sand. All the sand you want.
Hannah arrived to pick up Jonmarc and kind of beat us to town, so we ended up hopping in the car and getting a lift for the last 10 miles because the headwinds were really strong, so even going downhill it was hard to maintain like an 8 miles per hour, which is very slow. So Hannah, when she came out to get Jonmarc, brought me a new kickstand. It still doesn't really support the bike very well with everything on it. So anyways, that was yesterday. Got in, Hannah and Jonmarc left, which left me here from about, I forget, sometime in the evening, early evening, late afternoon. So that's when I found this building to set up in. I actually slept a really long time. Today's a rest day. I woke up maybe around 6:30, which is pretty late considering I went to bed at like 9 and or like 8:30 really. I kind of was freaking out about being alone last night. But luckily, because my reception keeps going in and out and it makes me feel really isolated. It was the first time I've really been by myself, stranded it's not stranded. I have a bike. I can get places. But I'm really out in the middle of nowhere, and it was maybe an hour or two after Hannah and Jonmarc left that it suddenly just kind of hit me like, whoa, I'm doing this and it's happening and I'm here, and I was almost in tears. But thankfully I had reception enough. I texted a couple friends and I was able to make a phone call with Kat, and she kind of talked me through it and pumped me back up. Thanks for tuning in. I'm probably gonna edit this video a lot shorter. So this is day 3, rest day of the bicycle tour to Salt Lake City. I'm actually feeling really good. I mean, I feel like I worked yesterday, but I expected to feel a lot more dead than I actually feel, and I feel fairly good as long as I can just keep steady, keep enough calories and energy in my body, drink enough water, and just push through it. So anyways, that's day 3, and